Hey everybody, in this video we're talking about price indexes or price indices, whatever you want to say, however you want to call it. Here's the thing, here's what we're going to do in the video. We're going to define what a price index is, okay, what it basically does. Then we're going to talk about what it's used for, and then most importantly, we're going to calculate some price indices, okay? So let's do each of those three things. The first thing, what is a price index? Listen very closely. A price index is the measurement of a current year's price level measured relative to base year prices. Now, I'm going to do that definition again, but I want to tell you, I'm going to break this definition into its two parts because I want you to hear both parts. The first part of my definition, okay, or the definition of a price index. A price index is the measurement of a single year's price level, okay? I want everybody to hear that. It's the measurement of 1 year's price level. That's what a price index is doing. It's measuring 1 year's price level. Now the second part, relative to base year prices. Both of those are important, but I absolutely want kids to hear that first part. Why do I want them to hear that first part? Because a price index is not the inflation rate. Listen to that. A price index is not the inflation rate. So many kids get confused between what's a price index and what is the inflation rate. A price index measures a single year's price level. The inflation rate is looking at the growth rate in prices over consecutive years. Now, here's where the two kind of come together. If you want to measure the inflation rate, okay, which is very important, and we definitely do, you need two price indices. That's right, you need two price indices. You need a current year's price index and the previous year's price index. And you can take the difference between those two and divide it by the previous year's price index, okay? It's basically an application of the formula new minus old over old, or final minus initial over initial. It's basically, we're finding the growth rate in prices, and if you want to find the growth rate of anything, that's what you do. You take new minus old over old, okay? So again, how we find the inflation rate is with two price indices, a current year's price index and a previous year's price index. And then again, you divide by the previous year's price index. Now, both of those price indices have to be measured relative to the same base year. That's really important. That's that second part of that definition. Both of those price indices that you use must be measured relative to the same base year. Okay, so there you go. Now let's talk about what we use these price indexes for, now that we know what a price index is. So we use them, one, to calculate the inflation rate, like we just said. So why do we want to calculate the inflation rate? I'm just going to give you two reasons. There's a bunch of reasons, two big reasons. Number one, the Fed, the central bank of a country, and the Fed in the United States wants to know the inflation rate, okay? They have an inflationary target of 2%, and it helps guide them on helping them understand should they try to do expansionary monetary policy or contractionary monetary policy. So one of the things they look at very closely is the inflation rate. Now, they also need to understand what's happening to unemployment. That's not about this video, okay? They have a dual mandate. But one of the things the Fed cares about is the inflation rate, so they care very much about measuring it, okay? And by the way, their preferred price index is known as the PCE, the Personal Consumption Expenditure, okay? The PCE, which is not the one I'm going to refer to in this video. I'm going to refer more to the CPI, the Consumer Price Index. So there's different price indexes out there. The other thing, okay, well, actually, I want to stay on that for just 1 second. Sorry about that. The inflation rate, I didn't finish that off, okay? Why do we care about the inflation rate? I said the Fed. The other reason we care about the inflation rate is we need to do COLA adjustments, okay? What's a COLA adjustment? A cost of living adjustment. It's called a COLA adjustment, okay? Cost of living adjustment. So imagine somebody's like retired on Social Security and they're getting paid some amount of dollars, of course, right? A Social Security payment, which of course is measured in dollars, some amount of dollars. And then prices go up by 3%. The inflation rate is 3%. Well, we want to do a COLA, cost of living adjustment. We want to take the dollar amount of that money they're making in Social Security and increase it by 3% so that their real income stays the same, okay? Again, we want to do these things called COLAs, cost of living adjustments. And so we have to measure the inflation rate, and we use price indexes, like I said, to measure the inflation rate. And so that allows us to adjust people's nominal income, the dollar amount of their income. Their nominal income is the dollar amount of their income. Adjust that up by the inflation rate so that they are not hurt, okay, by the fact their cost of living is going up because prices are going up. So we adjust the dollar amount of their income up so that their real income, the amount of goods and services they can buy, stays the same, okay? So there you go. One of the uses of a price index is to calculate the inflation rate. We talked about the two big reasons, or two of the big reasons for wanting to know the inflation rate. The other thing we use price indexes for, okay, is to adjust nominal data to real data or real data to nominal data. That's right. That's That's right, to make an adjustment. You know, like nominal wages to real wages, or real wages to nominal wages, or nominal GDP to real GDP, or real GDP to nominal GDP. To make those adjustments, price indexes are very efficient. With a single number, we can make that adjustment. Now, that's beyond the scope of this video, okay? I've got other videos on that. So what have we done so far? We talked about what is a price index, okay? It's the measurement of a single year's price level relative to base year prices. We said why our price index is important, calculating the inflation rates so the Fed knows what to do and make COLA adjustments, and so we can do that adjustment from nominal to real and real to nominal with our data, okay? The final thing we need to do is calculate some price indexes, okay? So we're gonna calculate two price indexes. This one is kind of like, what, really? You're gonna do this one? Yep, I'm gonna do this one just to make a few points, and then I'm gonna do this one. Also, by doing this one, we're gonna get a few reps, okay? So this one's a little bit of a weird one to do. I'm gonna measure the price level in 2015, okay, relative to prices in 2015, and you might get ahead of me really quick on how this is gonna work. This one, we're gonna measure the price level in 2020 relative to 2015 prices. Before I go on, though, I do want to make sure we're emphasizing things. This is measuring the price level in 2015. This is measuring the price level in 2015 relative to 2015 prices. This one is measuring the price level in 2020. Remember what a price index does is it measures a single year's price level. It's measuring the price level in 2020 relative to 2015 prices. Okay, so we're just about ready to do it, but I need to talk about this column really quickly, okay? Now, I've already blanked out some numbers here, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and put them in, but then I'm gonna scratch them back out, okay? I don't know, 5, 10, 4, okay? We're not gonna use this column because there's a big point here, okay? I got a quantity column here and I have a quantity column here, okay? I only want one set of quantities, okay? That's really important that we understand. When we do a price index, the quantities that we use when we measure prices in 2015, well, maybe I should use this one just to make it a little bit easier to talk about. We measure prices in 2020, and when we measure prices in 2015, we want to use the same quantities in both of those measurements. Let me say it this way. We don't want the quantities to change. Yes, maybe we're purchasing a different amount of each of these products in 2020. Okay, that could be somewhat problematic, but when we measure what prices we're doing in this year versus what prices we're doing this year, we do not want the quantities to change. We want the quantities, we don't want the quantities to change. We want the quantities to stay the same, okay? So that's just kind of a conceptual thing. So like we already had, I'm gonna get rid of this. I don't need that quantity column. Yes, I need two columns of prices. I need the prices to change because that's what I'm measuring. I want the quantities to stay the same. One more thing when it comes to terminology, the quantities are known as the weights, okay? So product A is in this market basket, if you will, 5 times, product B 8 times, product C 4 times. So the quantities are what we call the weights. So the weights are the quantities and the quantities are the weights, all right? So here are our weights. We don't want our weights to change. We just want our prices to change. All right, let's do this price index, okay? And some of you, again, are probably ahead of me, but here's what we're gonna do to do a price index, okay? We're gonna look at this number right here, and so we're gonna measure a market basket with 2015 prices. That is going to be our market basket. And by the way, the reason we're gonna go with the 2015 quantities and not the 2020 is the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, a really famous price index out there. It keeps base year quantities. It uses base year quantities, okay? So that's why we're gonna use the base year quantities, because the CPI uses base year quantities. Not all price indexes do, okay? Some price indexes use the current year quantities. We're gonna go with the base year quantities. So again, we're gonna check out our market basket with 2015 prices, okay? So here's our market basket. Here's the prices we're gonna use, right? 2015, 20 times 5, 100, 5 times 8, 40, 15 times 4, 60. Add those together, just checking out a market basket. That's all we're doing. You add those together and you get 200, okay? So we just checked out the market basket with our 2015 prices. Now, again, you've probably seen this coming for a while here. We're going to, again, check out the market basket with 2015 prices. Well, there's our 2015 prices. We're going to do the same thing, right? 20 times 5, 5 times 8, 15 times 4. Yeah, you know it's going to be 200 again. Now, some things I want you to see. We're going to take that and multiply by 100. And of course, what is that going to equal? This is going to be 1 times 100. It's going to equal 100. But that's how we calculate a price index. Is that a percentage? I love to ask my students, is this a percentage? Yes, right? That's my hint. This is a percentage. Do not put the percentage sign. Don't put the percentage sign. Economists do not put the percentage sign, even though it is a percent. Now, how do we read this number? Here it comes. Prices in 2015 were 100% of, that's the key word I want you to hear, of what they were in 2015. Of course they were, right? And we all knew that, right? This is an of course, but I do want to make a note of this, okay? Oftentimes when we're doing exams, we're going to say, what was the price index in the base year? And there it is, right? Of course, the price index in the base year is always going to be 100 for the very reason that I showed. So it's very important that we understand, if we find the price index of the base year, it's always going to be 100. And there's the reason. Okay, let's do it again. Let's get another rep and one that's a little bit more interesting, okay? So let's check out our market basket with 2020 prices. So check out our market basket with 2020 prices. So there it is. These are our 2020 prices. We're going to use, again, these weights in both years, okay, 2020, and when we check out our market basket with 2015 prices, same weights, but let's do it. 20 times 5, that's 100. 7.5 or $7.50 times 8 comes out to $60. Sorry about that, $60. 20 times 4, $80. So 100 plus 60 plus 80, $240. So there we go. We put $240. If I'm going fast, guys, all I'm doing is literally checking out a market basket, just checking it out like you would at a grocery store, okay? That's all the math that I'm doing, okay? It's just, hey, if you had 5 of these and 8 of these and 4 of these, well, and if these cost $20 each and $7.50 each and 20 each, okay? That's what you would get if you were checking out at a grocery store. Now, we're gonna, again, check that market basket out with 2015 prices. Well, we've done that quite a bit, right? 20 times 5, 5 times 8, 15 times 4. Okay, again, we're using the same quantities. We're gonna get 200. We know that, we've already done that. Well, we're then gonna multiply by 100. Why? Because price indices, yes, are in percentage terms, even though you don't write the percentage symbol, the percent symbol. So if we do this, okay, this reduces to 1.2 over 1, which is just 1.2, right? Times 100 is 120. Okay, so what does this 120 mean? Really important to get this. It means that prices in 2020 were 120%. It is a percent, but we don't put the percent sign. We're 120% of what they were in 2015. That's what that means. It means prices in 2020 were 120% of what they were in 2015. Now, we're not going to find the inflation rate from here to here, because when you do the inflation rate, you want consecutive years, okay? So I just want to talk very quickly. If we were needing to find, say, the inflation rate from 2019 to 2020, we would need another price index measurement. We would need the 2019 price index measured relative to 2015. If we knew that number, and we already know that number, we could calculate the inflation rate from 2019 to 2020. And again, what would we do? We would take this number, which is 120, subtract whatever this number was, and then divide again by that number, okay? New minus old over old. That's how you find the inflation rate. If you want to find the inflation rate, how many price indexes do you need? 2. Anyhow, I hope that makes sense to you. I hope you know what a price index is, measured by current year's price level relative to base year prices. I hope you know what they're used for, to calculate the inflation rate, which is needed by the Fed, or to do COLA adjustments. And price indexes are good for adjusting nominal to real and real to nominal, again, beyond the scope of this video. And then finally, how do you calculate a price index? Keep the weights the same. Don't let the weights change. The quantities have to be the change. You're just looking at the change in prices. You're just checking out market baskets. Price indexes are in percentage terms. Yes, they are, but don't put the percentage sign. And when you read what that means, it means that prices in 2020 were 120% of what they were in 2015. Don't say higher. They're not 120% higher. They're 120% of what they were in the base year. Hope that makes sense to you. We'll see you in the next video.